Yes. Oh, look at that. Man, we're already up and running, huh? Okay. Let me just get the link out to everyone. Share the posts. Oh, man. I tell you, man, these Galaxy 3 watches, whatever it is, these things, it's pointless. They do not hold a charge. All right, there goes LinkedIn. Let's get our Reddit out. There goes Reddit. And oh man, we already got guests online. Welcome, welcome. Let's get Facebook out. Bam. All right, that was quick and easy. So tonight I want to work on my Philandroids episode. But before we do that, I want to work on something else. I want to work on this this one guy. I guess his name, let's see. His name is Tyler Butterworth. Apparently he's like a YouTuber military guy. Army? I guess he does like these parody videos that are really funny and stuff. And he's looking for some designs of a particular kind of cartoon, and I want to see what I can do. Let's put Butterworth art. Butterworth art. We'll give it its own folder. I'll call it Butterworth art. We'll save it. We'll call it Butterworth. It won't let me save it as Butterworth art. That's fine. Whatever. So let's go and get a non-smooth brush so we can get really crazy here. As much as crazy as we want. Let's go ahead and get this scene set up. So it says he's looking for a tank. That's one of these things, right? It's kind of like a tank. See me, act like you know me. Yeah, a tank, right? Think of a happy tank. Happy? Happy tank. With cartoonish eyes. Cartoonish eyes. And a mustache. right? Mustache on the front. That could be on like a kid's book. If you think this is something you could do, yeah. Okay, so there's a couple things we can do here, but first, let's go ahead and take a look at a couple of different tanks. Let's see what a tank looks like. We probably need to stick with like an American tank because we're American around here. So, okay, there's a couple really cool ones. We'll probably grab this one. Let's do like a cartoon tank. Let's see what's out there already. I'm gonna grab a couple images here and then we'll come back and review them together. This one looks funny. Raj. And let me grab one more cartoon tank with happy face. Okay. This is about as good as they get right there. So now I'm going to import some of these images I found. Let's see if I can find them real quick. I'll load them up and show everybody. These 4 right here. Boom. Alright, so let me get my layers open. Now these are the tank images I found. Got your generic American old school World War I kind of tank kind of thing. You got a cartoon tank here. We got a happy face tank right there. We got this general tank guy. He's got his feet out. You know, it's very unconventional, right? And then you have a happy tank. He's the whole nose and everything, right? I mean, look at him. How can you be mad at that guy? He's got the whole nose. So I think honestly, when I think of this, I kind of think of this guy and a little bit of that. These other ones, although they're cool, I don't know if it's worth really considering them outside of the whole happy tank thing. So let's just go ahead and take these two and start creating some ideas from it. So right off bat, let's start with this one. Get rid of that. So I'm thinking, let's put it to the side here. I'm thinking let's do something where let's just get the basic shape. Really rudimentary, right? And then don't want to be too bogged down on making it and then some cartoon eyes. And then the really fun thing about mustaches is that they can make the character look old or... See, I think the old look comes in when you start dealing with the eyebrows, right? Like Old Man Tank McGeezer or something. And then Probably with this, let's pull it back a little bit more like that. I know you know my pain. Childish Gambino. You know, he's a artist that I didn't really take seriously at first. But then I heard the one song, Redbone. I was like, yo, okay. Who is this? Like, it's this sound is very the style of the sound and everything was very cool. So I think what I'm gonna do, we'll have the tire treads, the tank treads, be kind of like his hands. So it's kind of like that. And of course, there's other little gears and things in there too. And then the mouth. Something kind of like that. See, I don't want to erase all this mustache, but I have to fix it though. It's sized out so much. It's too wild. Let's just move it up like so. I think that's good. Actually, let's just go ahead and erase all of this right here. We're not going to see that. So I'm wasting time on that. Oh man, I didn't mean to erase the whole mustache. Actually, you know what? Let's just erase this whole thing. What I'm going to do, let's go ahead and do the mouth. All together. Let's get rid of that. Like so. And then for the nose, what we'll do is just do like a kind of like that. Actually, let's just focus on the barrel right now. So you're not really taking it too seriously. So kind of like this one, right? But it has its own character to it. Let's kind of balance it out a little bit more. And then maybe we can take out these eyebrows. Let's take out everything behind the eyes because we don't want that distracting us. Oh, so what if we do this? Let's copy this. I'm trying to figure out how can we get the nose in there and still make it so it's not so in the way, right? What if we do that? What if his nose is drooping down? So it's a tank, but his nose is drooping down like Gonzo or something. And then we'll do something like that. But again, we gotta erase everything behind the eyes because we don't want it to take away from the design and the concept of the character. And then even right here, we're gonna do that too. So for a tank, that's not bad. So now let's take this again. I'm gonna do another pose. Well, not pose, but I want to do another kind of idea. Or maybe the nose. Nah, that's not gonna work. What I will do, let's go to our next frame and put on a light box. And we'll do something where it's like he's excited. It's like, So I have a feeling that's gonna look more like it's gonna be really elongated here. And then again, these are like his feet. Or like his hands or whatever. But he's kinda like, it's like, what? And kind of like that. So it looks a little funky right now, but stick with me. So kind of like this. And then for the top of the head, remember, we're just trying to exaggerate it a little bit so that it kind of makes him look like, what? Like he's like, what? So the eyes have to be kind of like that. What else? What other features do you have? So let's just finish out what we have here, right? And actually, we probably need to exaggerate this even more. So really be intentional about how long stretched, and then how the feet or hands, I guess they kind of can be both, really exaggerated. Kind of like that. But then let's put the eyes over here, kind of like this. And then we'll erase everything under, like so. Now that's fun. Man. Oh, there it is. I'm like, why does it keep grabbing it? Like so. And he's kind of like, it's like exclamation. That looks like the character still, right? And then let's do some more where he's like, Maybe he's like, let me think about that kind of face. It's really all in the, what makes these characters as they are is not the features that make them a tank or whatever. It's all the human characteristics that you give them. Really? Like, scrunched up, So this eye, no, this eye is kind of like that. And actually, we can make this mouth even more exaggerated. So it's not about the tank parts. You know what? I'm just gonna go to the next frame. It's killing me. And then this is where his little tank feet. His tank feet are kind of holding his face a little bit. He's kind of like, And since we got this much detail about him now, we can actually just continue drawing around like so. And then his little tank nose. You can kind of make his nose like so. Maybe we can shorten the nose up and, or make it longer. It doesn't really matter. It's not so much about the tank features, like I've been saying, as much as it is about the anthropomorphic items that you give him to make him kind of like that. Honestly, I think for how he is, what we've done so far, where am I gonna put it? I can keep it right there. I think that's good for a first little character or whatever, to consider. What we can do next is maybe do one that's a little more happy. 'Cause that was one of the characteristics, right? A happy tank. Let's actually go to this one back here. Maybe if we do something a little bit more simple, we can do much more simple. Kind of like this. Who is this? Is this Jill Scott? Cross my mind, Jill Scott. I don't think I've heard this before. Yeah, I haven't heard this before. Cross my mind. So I'll tell you what we can do. Let's again start with the human characteristics, and let's start with like a happy face. A happy face, right? And now let's start giving him some of those tank features. Actually, so this one is very simple. Nope. Very child. When I think about drawing for a kid, not even going to keep the shapes very maybe, yeah, maybe that's good enough. We don't have to do anything else with that, except maybe the like lines like this, and it'll go all the way across. See, we're using our reference here to kind of help us stay on track. It's like, just keep it simple. And I wonder if we can make his mouth the actual. Sort of like that. Now, maybe it looks a little confusing at first, but let's take it a step further before we give up on it. And let's just kind of erase some of these little things in between that's throwing our vision of it off. Like that. And then, do you want to give him like some hair or something? What would a kid's haircut look like? Actually, let's do some cartoon eyes, some big eyes like this. And we'll put his eyebrows right on the eyes. I forget where that technique is from. I don't think it's a Looney Tunes thing. Maybe it is. But the eyebrows are right on them. Just keep building up on this. What do y'all think? What do you think? Not too bad, right? Not horrible, anyway. Kind of fill it in a little bit. Give it some love. So that's from a straightforward point of view. I know 5, you're... Ha! Yeah. So let's try a different point of view again. Let's start with our circle. Maybe we can use that same angle he's using there, right? Let's give him some eyes looking in that direction. And he's kind of like... I think that looks like a platypus. That's funny. Okay, fair enough, fair enough. So I'll tell you what, we can we're gonna fix that in this next little version. So we'll kind of start like that. Maybe like... Now let's fill in these details a little bit. Like so. Kind of like that, and then we'll take that away, take that away. And then instead of the circle, we're going to get rid of that circle and make it more like that. Like so. There's that. Is that still platypussy? Ooh. That's funny. Very platypus-like, I should say. I mean, how often are you saying the word platypus, though? Like, nobody cares about platypus. Mm. The platypi. Oh, that's funny. I mean, just call it a duck, right? The 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 duck mammal. Um, I mean, I mean, you got your let's take a look here. You got your maybe like 1 to 2 3-year old kind of style, and then you got your like what is that one show called? Thomas the engine, the train engine. Yeah, I know. Um, but yeah, I don't know. This is what I think of when I work on this. This is what I see. I feel like anything else, if I put any more detail into this and try to revamp it anymore, it's not gonna be kid like. I can make this thing like really detailed and really like this. Maybe we should try one more like this. Maybe let's try more tank like, right? Let's give it the whole workup. The whole workup. And he's got the covers. Like so. The tank. Just stop. Yeah, 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 yeah. Um so he's got this coming down, right? We're just copying what we see here. And of course you won't really see the bottom. Now let's just throw some details. Oh, he didn't have a mustache. Dang, we forgot about that. It's gotta have the stash. Oh man, this is a failure. Oh, why didn't y'all remind me? The mustache. This definitely isn't gonna work. This is nope. It's a lost cause. That's a baby. It's just a baby tank. I totally forgot his stash. We can fix that though. Kind of like so. I like this one. Whoa. And then, of course, so let's move this down. Sort of like so. Yeah, I think that's fun. That's good. So for this one, some, again, some like happy eyes. Let's go ahead and put our mustache in now. And then something like that. No. Something like that. Nah. Mmm. Mmm. I think maybe if we kept the mouth down here, and then maybe we had the stash up or down a little bit further. I gotta be honest, guys. I'm starting to wind down on this real quick. Yeah. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna snap this one. Bam. Snap this one. Bam. And then we're gonna snap this. Actually, I'm gonna put these together a little bit better. Save. Actually, it'd be better if I kind of moved it like this. Put him down here. Put him right there. Save. Snap it. Nope, nope, nope. Move it over a little bit. There we go. Snap it. Bam. Save it. And that's all the time we're going to give to that. Congratulations. Now we're going on to the main event. So for anybody watching this, the way you have it looks good now, though. Maybe the mustache could go on the end of the tank barrel. Oh. Oh. That was a good idea. Man. That would have been great 2 minutes ago. But for now, we're moving on to Philandroids. So if you're here and you're looking at this, you're getting a sneak peek into episode 2. I know a lot of you just saw episode 1 that I pushed out a little while ago, a couple weeks ago. So it's kind of still fresh. But episode 2, the script is done. The voice actors have it and they're working with it right now. I've already done my lines and I've already done the animatic. And now I'm working on the final illustration of the whole episode. So I've already worked on a lot for the first act, the first part. And now we're just continuing where I left off. What is this? That's pretty good. All right. So let's scroll down. Philandroids by Terry Ruff. Let's see. So episode 2. Let's get to. We start out in the kitchen. So the blue that you're seeing in the background is the animatic, is what I already drew. And everything you see in black, highlighted really bold in black, is the final illustration that I'm working on now. So what you're seeing is we're in the kitchen. We're behind Greg. He's on the computer. He's playing away his little chicken nugget fingers or whatever. And then Phil comes walking in. He's like, yeah, let's do this. He's like, He's coming in, and then he does like a little swirly swirl, and then he spins around to the I might have to fix that. Yeah, I'm about to fix that. But he comes walking up, and then he stops beside Greg. Actually, let's turn off the background. Let's turn off the animatics so we can see what's going on. Even that's a little. Anyways, so Phil is standing there, and I always love the lips from Futurama. He's like poking them out. But basically you have, let's turn off the background too because we don't need the background right now. So it starts out with Phil. He comes up to Greg and Greg's like, huh? Oh. And then Phil's like, he's like poking his lips out. He's like, what are you doing? You know? And I actually did a little bit of color right here already. And then this is where I need to turn my background back on. So we're looking at Phil's laptop. Ooh, see, I need to fix that. Right here. I need to draw a keyboard. So it might get a little tedious to sit here and watch all of this. But, you know, it is what it is. What I'm trying to do with like Philandroids as well, I'm trying to make sure that it lives up to that same kind of comedy you see in what do you call this show? Regular Show. And even Rick and Morty does a lot of it too, but excuse me, Regular Show when it was on, it was one of my favorites. You know what? Let's do something else. Let's do the. I'm gonna hand draw this too. Ooh, wait. Let's make sure we get the tuning pen. The tuning pen is our straight pen. When Regular Show was on, that was my favorite show of all time. I just love how it was like for the dudes, you know. It was like, ugh, why do I have to go here? Can I just sit around, just be lazy? Oh, I love that. But Rigby was so horrible about it. Even, I mean, Mordecai was bad too, but Rigby would just milk it. He was a victim of his own vices. And the reason why I'm like hand drawing this and the lines aren't straight at all is because I want it to have that personalized feeling of like, man, this doesn't look right, but kind of like the illustrations themselves. That might be too many lines, so you know what? That's good enough. So it's like powered grip. So we're watching his laptop now, and actually I need to probably put his fingers. Ah, man. Oh, perfect, right there. What I also need to do is draw fingers right on top of this. His little digits. Kind of like that. 1, 2, 3. Let's get rid of that one. 4, 5. Because human beings have 5 fingers. Is this Amory? Amory? Oh, I knew it. Amory's... Amory? I'm going to say Amory. Amory was one of those R&B artists back in the day that was... It was like... She didn't get the same hype as like a Beyonce or even Alicia Keys. but she definitely had a voice on her. I felt like, man, she deserved a lot more. She had a couple of like big hit songs, but I was like, man, she just didn't get to. She didn't really stay in the main zeitgeist of music as long as she should have. All right, cool. So now we have his digits. Actually, let's go ahead and save, flatten, and then let's color it for. Let's put it in white for right now. So that way it won't take up. It won't be confusing for us. All right, now let's go back to our little scene. So when Phil comes up to Greg and he's looking at his computer screen, we're gonna see a commercial come on. It's called Powered Grip. Get your tools here for all the powered tools you need for powered activities. Powered Grip. And so I'm gonna have the voice actor just say some random gibberish bull crap like that, Powered Grip or whatever. And then there's like we're gonna see like this a random piston. Why is it a piston? I don't know. That's what they do. They have pistons, and there's a really loose screw. It's hanging out just enough for you to screw it in with power tools, or tools to help you power your things. Anyways, so he comes up with this screwdriver. Some random hand just comes up and screws it back in. Why does this make it work now? I don't know. It just does. So when he screws it back in, it starts the piston starts moving, and it's powered tools now, and it's funny, and the hand just goes away. There you go. Interesting. He's like, okay. Oh. And so when Phil sees this commercial, he is appalled. He's like, whoa, what are you watching, bro? You're just watching that on your laptop in the living room? What's wrong with you? That's something you do in the privacy of your own room, He's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you. He's like, and then, there it is. Well, you can't really see it very well. But anyways, we get a shot of Greg, and I kind of tweaked his character design a little bit. I'm trying to see how it works for me. I can always change it later on if I want to before I start coloring. But for now, I'm just kind of trying a little bit of a different kind of style. Anyways, he's like, bro, what's wrong with you? What are you talking about? And then Phil's like, he's peeking through his fingers. I always like that, where he's like, oh, I want to look, but I'm peeking, And it's like his eyeballs just like looking at it. And then he looks over at Greg. He's like, bro, yeah, you need to, that's shameful, man. You need to, that's weird. You need to go in your own room for that. And so that's where I'm at now. The next part. He's like, bro, go into your own room for that. And he's like, shame. It's like, shame. And Greg is like, okay. It's like, it's just a commercial about pumps and drivers and, oh, okay. I guess that is a little weird. That is, okay. From his point of view, it's whatever. But now that he thinks about it from a android's point of view, it's a little perverted, bro. That's weird. And then while they're doing all that, another commercial comes on, and it's for the Blueberry app. And again, if you remember from last episode, it's a little Easter egg. The Blueberry app was this widespread social media app where people can meet each other and start dating and all these things or whatever. And then so that comes on. And it's like, oh, cool. It's a little commercial. So before we move any further, I'm gonna go ahead and start drawing this part here where it feels like Shane, Shane. I can love you. I can love you better. I'm trying to find. There we go. Okay. So we'll go back to this one. There we go. I'm going to copy it, paste it onto the next frame. I'm going to go ahead and draw his hand. Oh, we need black. So if I'm going to do, he's only going to have 3 fingers, 3 digits here, 1 digit here. So I'm trying to figure out, yeah. Oh, shoot. So it's kind of like this, like that. I don't know if I ever said this before, but I am a huge Justin Timberlake fan. Like I can't wait for his next album to come out. Like probably my most. It is, yeah. It's my most anticipated album of the year for sure. I anticipate the album coming out. It's weird because I wasn't like a huge fan of NSYNC or anything like that. Man, that's a big hand. I don't know if I want it to be. Those digits are big, bro. Maybe kind of like that. They're not supposed to be so bulky, like. These fingers are bigger than his arm. I'm about to redraw it. I don't like how that turned out. No, that's too pointy. I think this hand is just big all around anyway. Sick and tired of trying to save the world. It's you, girl. Be alright. Man, okay, right there. It's like it is just becoming way too large. I can't figure out why I'm doing that. We are kind of like that. Yeah, that's much better. Much better. And then we'll erase these arms. And then kind of like so. No, it needs to kind of come up like that. We'll just move the hand up there like that. And I'll actually make it so it's kind of coming up like so. This one for the lovers out there. Like that. Perfect. And just look at how much there is to do just for one hand. Consider everything that's moving, everything with color, and I shade everything too. Like, it's not enough to just color it for me. It's like you have to shade it. This finger is a little funky. I'm going to redraw that. Yeah, I think that's better. And then I'm going to do this hand. Just come across, kind of like on his hip. attitude, all that attitude. And then what I want to do is have his head down some. A little bit bigger because it's closer. Erase the neck. And I'm going to have his body go over a little bit like that. But instead, I'm actually give it a little bit of an arch. Kind of like so. No, no, no. Keep selection. And then let's fix his eyes. So for the eyes, we don't really have to do any kind of difference except for just give him like deep cut eyes. Deep cut eye. And then probably put his lips, really exaggerate the lips to give him character. So put something like his cheeks. So for his eyes, it's a LED screen. So all the expressions we see in the eyes is all lit up, which is doesn't matter if he doesn't have cheeks, but they show up in the LED screen. So really exaggerate there, but his lips are, you know, I mean, kind of like so. No, it needs to be like. It's funny just trying to draw this. It's like, what's going on with his lips though? It needs to be like. I think it needs to be like a line. No, that's like anger. Oh, I never drew anger like that before. Let me look at a reference because I guess I'm not really getting this. Fucker up lips. Cartoon face. No, not puckered up lips. Judgment. Maybe like judgment. That's your favorite word, right? Judgment. Judgment lips. Where is it at? Where is it at? I don't see him. It's almost like a pucker. Let's draw a pucker. The pucker is more actually like. No. No. Oh man, I gotta get these lips right. Maybe kind of like I can do this. I can do that. I think that's good enough. I'll sit here all night trying to draw this thing. So let's save. And his mouth is, ah man. Let's do this. Let's move the mouth real quick because that's going to be in a different layer all by itself. Group it. Let's put the head in place where we need it. Maybe I need to flip this the other direction. That'll probably work better that way. Nah, I think I liked it better this way. Let's move these lips though. Lips are going to go in this layer. So what I like to do to make animation easier for me, and I'm sure professional people do this too. I put the mouth on a different layer than my actual character's face, because that makes it so much easier when it comes time to animate. I can work on the face and the body and everything else. And the mouth changes so much when people are talking that it needs to be animated on its own layer. It's just, the mouth is his own character, basically. And then something like that. And all the other details, he has like these little chest buttons. Yeah, that works. That works a lot. All right. So this drawing here is going to last for like 10 frames by itself right here. Put this mouth here too. Let's take a look at what we did so far. That works. Look at that. All right. Next part. So it's the exact same thing. Oh, look. So this mouth that we drew is actually on the next part, next frame. So here, his mouth is actually open. And what it looks like is, whatever. And let's actually poke his lip out a little bit. It's like shame, shame, shame. All right. And then we're going to copy this body, put it on the next layer, and then all we're going to do is change the hand. Should be the hand, or maybe just the finger. Just the finger. Oh boy. And then so we need to draw what's under it. Ooh, come on. See, if I were thinking about this beforehand, I wouldn't have erased this. But that's okay. So we can fix that because we're professionals. Like so. But actually, it probably needs to be more like right here. Ah, fuck it. Let's just erase it. And this one, I'm going to erase it, and I'm actually going to make it so it's like that. And we could probably even exaggerate that more, honestly. So let's redraw this finger again. Kind of like that. And these little lines here are to help show it's wagging. That's good. That's good. Character. It's all about the character. All right, let's take a look. So he's definitely got this shame look to him. It's cool. But now I need to decide how often this happens. So I need this back on. So it's a left, then a right. So 2 more frames. Nah, it needs to waggle for a little bit longer than that. Something like that there. So let's fix it. So he's like Shane. Stops right there. When is he not saying it? That's the bigger question. No, not there, not there. Oh, yep. There we go. All right, now that should flow. So let's play it over again a little bit more. He's like, man, you should watch that in your room, bro. Shame. I feel like it should wag more, right? So how many frames do we do? From 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 2, 3, 4. Two, three, four. So let's actually bump that down. See, these are the kind of problems right here where you don't really see it or notice it until you're actually doing it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Until you're actually drawing the thing. Because when I did the animatic and I did all the drawing and I did the script and I was writing it, it flowed so much better and it just seemed like it just worked. There was nothing to really be concerned about. And let's bump this up 1 more. Like that. Perfect. So now the next scene, this is where doing a lot of these back and forth conversation pieces is so much more, not easier, no, easier, because I can just copy and paste it all over again. Where are you at, Greg? There you are. So I need to get one where his mouth is closed, but actually all of this is just the same frame. So we'll extend that out until forever. And then the whole time, so right there, this is where he's going to turn around and he has his arms up. Right here is where he actually puts his hand to his face. And then he stays in that position the whole time. So you can erase all that. Actually, let's just make a frame right there. And right here. Just marking it so that I can it'll save the spot, then I can move it down. Perfect. Alright, so right here, we'll copy the frame where his mouth is just closed the whole time. Bring it all the way down, and this one's done. Just that fast. He's just looking at him like, And And what I can do is also put like a question mark here to kind of help show his, I don't know, you know, something that would, I probably don't need to put the question mark because at first it would be kind of funny, but it might be funnier to, if, because you know he's confused, right? Yeah, you don't need that. All right, so now let's get into some more original drawing. Let's get a previous picture. I'm actually going to copy his head. We never change the head unless absolutely necessary. Oh boy, I missed a whole... Let's just copy the whole thing here. Who is this? Dren Bernard. Interesting. Some good R&B right there. So we'll move his head over a little bit to show that he moved, right? Then we're going to turn his body. Actually, let me see what his previous body is like that. So his shoulders are down here. But we're actually going to move his shoulders up to about right here because he's turning. He's more squared up with this. And we'll give him like a puny neck. So Greg is one of those guys, he doesn't work out. He doesn't bother to work out. He ain't gonna work out. He's got the little pot belly, you know, the shirt's hanging over the belly and everything. He's scrawny, but he's tall too, so, or at least he's taller than Phil. So his shoulder is gonna be up a little bit like this. Because he's going to, or whatever. And then we're going to exaggerate the form a little bit. And then he has noodle arms too. Nope. So let's just work on the noodles. Just draw the noodles. And then whatever I draw over here, I'm just going to copy and paste and put over there too. So something like that. And then he has noodle fingers. Which way the thumbs are on the side closest to you. So kind of like that. Mama on my hood, I look fly, I look good. This might, I don't know if this is really working. I can see it already. It's got his little t-shirt here. Let's fix the hands up. And then let's connect these fingers. Actually, what I might do is just erase everything in between the fingers too. Kind of like that. Like that. This pinky is a little big. Yeah, that's better. Let's do that. Let's get rid of all this. Let's keep them in the same perspective. Don't want to give them little sausages either. Fill them all the way out. Let's get rid of both of these. All of that. Like that. And I'm not gonna get too bogged down on all this too much here. I'll have to move on. Even though I already kind of did, right? Like that. It's not my favorite hand, but we'll work with it. Save, copy, paste, flip. Move it over. See how it fits. Turn all that off, and then let's take a look at them. What is up with this here? This thing keeps moving. I could have sworn I fixed that already, but I should have just copied the whole thing over. Let's see. You know what we need to do? I see I can fix all this for myself already. Maybe let's bring this in a little bit. Make his shoulders a little smaller. Connect it right there. Yeah, that's much better. Make him a little bit of a smaller guy. Sort of like that. Yeah, and then let's sort of like that. Show the top of the belly. Save, copy, paste, flip. Like so. I'm going to fix this neck and make it a little bit more out like that. Like so. Extend the neck down a little bit. Let's erase this extra shoulder stuff that's going on. Let's do that. And the arms are actually in front of the body, so they get precedent over the body. Look at that. Look at that. That's our guy. But something else I want to do with this too. So he goes from this to this, right? So I do want to do one more layer in between to show that transition. Copy, paste. So I'm going to erase all of this except for the head. I'm going to put it right in the middle of the red and the green. What I want to do here is show the body twisting. So it's going to be kind of like an in-between. It's going to be kind of like turn in that direction, but also not quite all the way turned around. And again, I'm going to try to keep this in between the green and the red. And then we're going to kind of keep it like that. Before we draw the Adam's apple, let's kind of like so. And then let's draw his little noodles. Kind of like this. I think that's enough we can work with right there, actually. And then sort of like so. Try not to overthink it too much, just kind of keep it in the realm. Let's actually, this is something I need to fix on the previous drawings too. Is give him his belly. I want that to stand out. Sort of like so. Let's copy that and let's go ahead and fix it on all the other layers I have them. Oh, it's already there because I copied it and pasted it as such. Very good. That's a little bit of Toon Boom magic. If you copy a layer, if you copy the layer and not the drawing, and you paste the layer somewhere else, it will continue to link back to that previous copy. So every new edit I make on the new copy will do it on the previous copies as well. So very helpful when you go back and make corrections like I just did. Let's see, right there, right, huh, and right, huh, right, huh. Boom. Oh, I didn't do it there. And then we'll do some like turning lines. I think 2 is enough. Oh, perfect, perfect. We're not going to see this hand down here, so I'm just going to close it off. Like so. Now, I think we got a good, we'll keep it right there. Look at our guy. He's animating like a champ. And then in this frame right here for the mouth, he went from being like his mouth is closed to being, it's gonna be kind of like partially open to being like, huh? It's gonna be kind of like a half frown. Sort of like that. But for this face, we will raise the eyebrows up like so. And we're going to open these eyes up. He's going to be like, but then we need to do another mouth that's kind of closed like so. All right. And let's just copy this all the way down. You see how much we got done in not even 2 hours. Yeah, I guess about an hour and 20 minutes so far. Now, here's our drawings that we just did so far. He's like, man, what did I do? Anonymous, Bobby V. I used to love this song, but I don't even remember it now. One step to 2 back, close this time, and that's a fact. That me be the perfect match to where you at. Anonymous, too much. Why gotta be anonymous? anonymous. Just filling easy spaces. So basically what I did, I copied the mouth that's open and I drug it all the way down so it's in every layer. And all I did was erase the layers where his mouth is closed. And I'm going to paste the closed mouth into those holes that I made. Makes it a lot easier than trying to find it. I gotta be anonymous. Why you gotta be anonymous? Anonymous, anonymous. Need a rush, must miss anonymous, anonymous, anonymous. Miss anonymous, man. Kathy Lee. Hold my hand, come be with me. It ain't gonna lie, but it's gonna be. Gotta know, I gotta know. I gotta be anonymous. I have got to perfect this like questionable eye kind of look. Like, I'm gonna figure it out. Name anonymous, anonymous. Need a rush, Miss Anonymous. Man, that's a throwback. I ain't heard that song in a minute. Oh, and the next... So, I'm going to do this next drawing, and it will be the last one for the night. So, it looks like what it entails. Maybe 2, so that we can get this correct pose in place. Let's put this to the side. Also, guys, while I got you and I'm doing this part, kind of setting up for the next drawing, if you remember my guts, the guts animation I just did not too long ago, did I do this from the side view already? I guess not. The guts drawing animation I just did, I made a shirt of it for merchandise, for some merch. So keep a lookout on that. I'll probably wear it on the next stream that I do. And it's another I Am Cartoons rendition. Just to kind of connect merchandise to the actual brand itself. Girl, it would be fly if you were my B-U-D-D-Y. Let me shy, give it a try. I'll be yours, you can be mine. Yeah, I probably should have did this. Let's do this. I'm trying to do it at the angle it's going to be at versus just drawing it as is. Sort of like so. Actually, let's bring it out a little bit more. But wait, let me explain it. Music to Soul Child is another gem of R&B. when that Buddy song came out, at first I didn't like it. It's funny because I didn't like it at first. And I was like, man, it's not the style I usually like from him. It's a little too fun. It's like music's supposed to be. He's supposed to be like not sad, but R&B, man. Feel my B-U-D-D-Y. Oh, oh, oh. I have a feeling I drew this already. Let me go back. Girl, it would be fly if you were my B-U-D-Y. Give it a try. I can be yours. You can be mine. Be mine. It would be fly. B-U-D-D-Y. Give it a try. I can be. Yeah, that ear is not it. I don't feel like the head is in good comparison to that one. For one, that ear is not big enough. Two, this beard is too big. Sort of like so. Hey y'all, made it. Just got done Uber driving. Still in the car. Gonna alert. Haha. Hey, good to see you, Chris. So I didn't know you did Uber too, man. I used to do Lyft back in the day. Yeah, and my wife actually used to do Uber and Lyft. It really gave her the freedom she needed to kind of, manage life, and it just gives a lot of freedom for sure. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. I did enjoy it a little bit myself. And I can probably do this. I can do this part a little bit better. Probably something like that. We can move this ear up a little bit better, kind of like so. I think that correlates, except for this eyebrow. Let's move this up a little bit more. We can use the same eyebrow over here. And I am going to elongate this bottom of this beard just a little bit. Excuse me. Save. And I'm going to group it. Hopefully it doesn't crash. Perfect. Alright, so for this part. So I'm going to turn off the onion scan and turn on the light table. And then I'm going to put his head up like this. Let's go ahead and get rid of that drawing. We don't need it anymore. And actually, let's just move it down to about right there. Oh, man. I need to ungroup it real quick. Yeah, there we go. Copy. I'm gonna move that one. I'm actually going to take this head here. I'm gonna put it here as an in-between. Turn on our onion skin. Paste it. And then I'm just going to turn it ever so slightly. And then I'm going to move it so it's, again, it's in between the red and the green. And what I'm trying to do is let's do this. I'm going to close his eyes and move all his features to the side just a little bit. I'm not going to wonk it up too much. But I'm going to do something kind of like that. So you're kind of seeing the side of them. Let's get rid of that, get rid of that. All this here. Fix some of these little holes we just made. Probably something like this. Perfect. Now for our final couple of drawings for the night here, I'm gonna go back to this body. I'm not gonna completely redraw it, but I'm gonna do something. We're not gonna use all of it though. Move his head up a little bit, and then I'm gonna actually arch his neck in the opposite direction. Give him his little Adam's apple back again. And then I'm gonna go to the drawing above it. And then kind of draw a makeshift hand. We won't do all the digits. And we'll do his hand coming all the way down. We'll do his shirt. Actually, I kind of want it up here a little bit more. Erase it right there. Get rid of these extra lines. I'm gonna fix this curve a little bit more. And keeping in mind, these guys are cartoons. I guess it's a little bit more like Looney Tune rules, where I'm not really concerned about like, man, that's a really long arm, or that's a really big head, and all that kind of stuff. Nah, the noodle arms are perfect for not having to worry about anatomy and all that kind of stuff. Plus, it's funnier, I think. And then we'll erase everything that's under. And then go back to this one. I'm gonna copy this, paste it. I'm gonna put it to the side because just in case I want to come back and keep some of those features. See, that's one of the beauties I love about digital art versus the traditional. Now, born and raised, grew up on traditional art and all that kind of stuff, but there's something, the digital just allows you so much freedom. I think it's better to do something like this. And then that and that. It's kind of like, yeah, so you don't see the finger. Good, good, good. And then here, we're going to put his mouth. He's like, oh. See, with Greg, I always want to show the size of his mouth. That's just a little feature. Let's just erase it. That's something I always see with him. Let's do another drawing with his mouth closed. That's perfect. All right, so let's just move it all the way down, and then we'll bring it. Oh boy. Turn on our Animate again and see where the mouth is moving, and that's where we'll. So where it doesn't move, I'm gonna put the closed mouth. So like right here, erase. 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 Right there. Right there. Right here. And right here. Perfect. Yeah, see, this is the best way to animate the mouth without having to do it over and over and over. All right, and so we're going to use our trick we just did. Well, first, let's take a look at everything. I'm going to have to fix his eyes, too. He's got some kind of like buckeye thing going on or something like that. I don't know. One's a little higher than the other one. Those are little things we can fix as we get further down. And actually, the body phrase we use right here, we can use again. Because this is what we use to go from here to here. So now we can go from here to here. It's doing something like this. All we got to do is elongate his neck. And do movement going from the other direction. And then do his mouth like that. Is that, but I don't know what you're talking about, but you know, it's just oh, okay. I get it now. I know what you're talking about. Boom. I think that's good. I think that's good, guys. So just to recap a little bit, I'll turn on the backgrounds. Actually, I'll drop the backgrounds down so we can see everything. I'll put it to about 45, 44. Same thing with this one. Probably about 42, whatever. So just to recap, here's our whole front part of the cartoon here. We did some hands right here. I already did this prior. Excuse me. And we did Phil and his little like shame face. We finished doing Greg's part right here where he's like, huh? Like this confused look. And he's talking back and he's like, well, I don't understand what you're talking about. You know, it's like, oh, okay. So all of this right here we just did was about 2 hours worth of work. Crazy. And that's just the Phil and Greg in these 2 or 3 different poses, all hand drawn. But hey, it's gonna be great when we finish, you know. But going back to what I was saying before I got back to drawing Greg here, my previous animation of Berserk Greg Guts, I did a shirt of it for the I Am cartoon. So now we got Dr. Fate and we got the Berserk shirt. So If y'all like seeing stuff like that, you like seeing these cartoons be on shirts and hats and merchandise and stuff, let me know. I can create more of it. I can go back to my old cartoons and kind of put them together so we can have merch. But that's enough for tonight. We'll pick it back up on Monday. Monday we'll get back into the weekly tune. That will be, who were we working on last? It was Deadpool. We'll pick it back up on Deadpool on Monday at 7 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. And yeah, like always, please like, share, subscribe, comment down below on any advice, any words, anything you want to see differently or whatever. I'm open to all of it. So make sure you stay tuned and have a good night.